I did notice when we got here, you had arrived shortly before us, and you spent the morning walking around the entire place. Is
I
that
get a lot of
something you
miles
do
in.
every?
Yeah, I try to, as much as I can, walk both communities, and it's one of the most important things I feel like that might be underappreciated in other. If you can get in and walk the community and pay attention to little things, it makes a difference over time. And not just that, one, it's great exercise, but also I feel like you get to see what's going on in the community. Like, just a great example, and somebody had brought it up before, but they were playing ping pong in there. And it was cool, but it's a table that was put together with a net. Okay, so we ordered ping pong tables because that's better than two tables put together. And getting to see those things on a day-to-day basis or weekly basis walking around um, allows me to help see and support the team and support the residents.
Yes, but you didn't come in and go into an office and lock yourself in. You didn't hide yourself away as the individual who leads this organization and say, everyone else go do it. You walked these grounds and made certain that what needed to be focused on was focused on. How much do you feel that plays a part, and how connected everyone feels?
Yeah, a significant role. Yeah, because that availability and access is something that our residents really enjoy, because it helps set the tone again for every other department, for our residents to know that they have access to the very senior levels of our organization, and it reinforces for every other team member here that they're not. There is a spotlight on us as we work, and the residents are watching. The residents are family members are watching, and so we need to make sure that we are committed to excellence in every area that we're setting our hands to, and that they're it's a high accountability organization as well. It's a high care environment, but it's a high accountability environment as well. And so we want our residents to know that I frequently communicate to our residents that I have an open door policy. That there's any concern, question, comment, they're more than welcome to come talk with me, to have a closed door meeting. But certainly as well, I'm out in the community as well, following James's lead, to be able to interact, and really make sure that our residents know who we are, that we're accessible, that we're touring the community when they're active, not when it's just convenient for us, but we're out there when they're walking the halls and getting feedback from them. I think from a customer service aspect too, that's just so important, because you hear about things that are potential challenges before they rise to the level of a crisis, because you're able to sit and talk with somebody and say, how's your day going? How was lunch today? Those type of things. And you're able to hear from them, and you're able to kind of, again, hear areas that are potential attention needing areas that we need to focus on before it spreads to too many residents, before it becomes more of a crisis. And when you're spending time locked in an office, that's a recipe for disaster from my perspective, because you're not truly engaged in what's going on in the community, setting the tone, and you're just more reactive instead of being proactive in that environment.
One area to give the team massive kudos recently, as it's been, I'm sure you guys eaten at restaurants lately in the last 6 months probably, and it might have been a little slower, or you see help wanted signs everywhere. And so in the last couple of months, we've had a tough time recruiting. And I think we were able to get in front of that really quickly. The team banded together, the entire team, and in the span of a couple of weeks, going from, hey, dining wasn't good this one day, 2 weeks later, the residents are phenomenally excited. We all came together, we got in front of the residents, had a different town hall than we usually have every month, and it was, hey, I'm here to support them, and they're doing a great job. And again, as you saw today, the kitchen's doing great. I think the team on the floor is just kicking butt, and the residents are even responding as of yesterday. Hey, it already is back to the best it's been.
It's phenomenal. And your attention to little details. that blew our mind as we walked around here too. You have at the bar area, you lowered the floor. You can talk us through that. Why did you lower the floor behind the bar?
Well, so some of these things come from mistakes or things that you notice that you could have done better at a previous community or a previous building. And so we have a bar at one place where people roll up and they kind of look at the back of the bar. And that kind of blew my mind. I was kind of sitting there, nobody's ever going to sit there again. And so I said, okay, so how do you design a floor where if somebody rolls up or has a scooter or is even slightly slouched, because in your old age you kind of shrink a little sometimes, and if we could recess the floor just slightly, then you're on the same level as somebody working behind the counter for coffee or working behind the counter for the bar, and you can serve at the same level and talk at the same level.
Yes. And what that does for dignity and the level of compassion and care is, to me, stellar.